So we've got some MCU news to talk about. I'm assuming by now, everybody has seen Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Now, at the end of that movie, Wanda, the Scarlet Witch, destroyed Mount Wendigo, as well as the Darkhold in every single reality. Now, she seemingly died in the end, right? I'm sure that's what a lot of people thought. But Marvel Comics just revealed A, the Scarlet Witch is still alive, and B, how she will return in the MCU with the mini series called TVA. Which, if you're watching shows like Loki, or if you've seen Deadpool and Wolverine, you know all about the TVA. And in the comic, we see Obi, Morbius, B-15, and Sylvie are all still there after the events of Loki Season 2. Now, Sylvie is teaming up with a bunch of other variants across the multiverse as they try to figure out why everyone across the multiverse is seeing their worst fears. And the thing is, the person to believe that Loki is still out there helping the TVA is Spider-Gwen. And Gwen is kind of skating on thin ice because the TVA believes she's being manipulated by the Reality Stone. To which Gwen is like, I know I'm not hallucinating, because if I was hallucinating in my dreams, why does the code that I saw in my nightmare the same code to get into the basement of the TVA? There's certain things in this comic run that are just not adding up. There are certain things that are weird, there are certain secrets, and frankly in this situation, Gwen Stacy is the only person using critical thinking. Gwen ends up seeing Wanda in the basement of the TVA in some sort of cryo chamber. And we know it's MCU Wanda and not some variant, because right here it says, this is Wanda Maximoff, the Scarlet Witch. I've heard about her on my own timeline, and her name stretches further than that. But this one looks like the one who is supposed to be dead, squished by a mountain after a showdown with Doctor Strange. That in itself is a little eerie. I've heard about her on my own timeline, and her name stretches further than that. That's because we know that the Scarlet Witch is a multi-universal threat. I mean, even in the Doctor Strange movie, she was using the Darkhold to dreamwalk and go to other universes. She's a threat to the multiverse. This is literally one of, if not the most powerful character in Marvel. And to see the TVA holding her in a cryo chamber is wild, man. It is just wild. Now, I think that we're gonna see her, because everybody thinks she's dead. Everybody thinks she's dead. I never believe she's dead, but I mean, like, even people in the MCU are thinking she's dead. I think that because at the end of the story, she woke up. We saw Nightmare and we saw Wanda woke up because Gwen opened up her cryo chamber and she woke up. And I can't imagine she would be in the best of moods. She wasn't exactly in a good mood at the end of that Doctor Strange movie. And then a mountain fell on top of her. And then the TVA has been holding her. She's been in somewhat of a coma this whole time in a refrigerator unit. I can't imagine she'll be in the best of moods when she gets out. But this could be leading into Avengers Doomsday. You know, this could be the explanation of how the Scarlet Witch comes back into the MCU. She destroys the entire TVA. She goes to her own timeline. I don't know. But this is crazy. This is wild, you know. I would recommend this series. Just, you know, if you're an MCU fan, just to kind of keep up with everything. I love the comics that are interlinked with the movies. I love how this one is introducing Wanda and giving an explanation as to where she's been and what she's been up to, which is nothing but sleeping, but still. This is crazy. This is crazy. But guys, let me know what you think down below. How do you think Wanda is going to fit into the MCU moving forward? Do you think we'll even see her in Doomsday or Secret Wars? I bet we got to see her in Secret Wars. Secret Wars is like the biggest Marvel event of all time. We got to see her in that. But let me know what you think down below. Like I said, this series, I didn't go over everything because I don't want to spoil it. But this series, there's a lot of things in it that's not adding up. There's a lot of things in it that are eerie. And again, Scarlet Witch trapped in a cryo chamber is one of them. But let me know what you think down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.